Have you noticed that every time something tragic happens, social media becomes a courtroom? Before investigators finish their work, before families have their answers, before all the facts are known, millions of people have already decided exactly what happened. Not everyone is Christian, so this is not for everyone, but for those who are, we should be different. Jesus said in John 7:24, do not judge by appearances, but judge with right judgment. Today, I want to talk about why that's becoming harder and harder in our culture. What's going on, everybody? I'm Willz, and if you're new here, welcome. I'm a Christian first who comments on faith, culture, and politics. This isn't about defending political parties. It's about asking one question: what does God's word say? Over the past several months, we've watched tragedy after tragedy unfold across our country. We've seen children lose their lives, families shattered, communities grieving, and every single time the internet follows the same script. People pick a side, influencers jump in, rumors spread, videos get clipped, photos get shared, people declare guilt, and all before the investigations are complete. This should concern every one of us. Most recently, we've watched this happen following the tragic death of Willz. First, my prayers are with his family. I can't imagine what they're going through, losing a child. It's heartbreaking. I don't have any, but I know this. And, because I care about that family, I also care about the truth. I've watched social media filled with speculation. I've watched people confidently explain, events that they couldn't possibly know firsthand. I've watched complete strangers act like detectives. That's not justice. Justice requires facts. Justice requires evidence. Justice requires patience. That's why we have investigators. The Bible speaks directly to this. Proverbs 18:13, it says, if one gives an answer before he hears, it is his folly and shame. Think about that. How many people have already made up their minds before hearing the whole matter? God calls that foolish. Another thing I've noticed is how selective public outrage can be. Some stories dominate every headline and others receive far less attention. Regardless of the reason, I believe every innocent life has value because every person is made in the image of God. Our compassion shouldn't depend on whether a story is trending. Justice shouldn't be selective. The media, influencers, and public figures all play a role in shaping these conversations. Some ask important questions, some raise awareness, but every one of us, including myself, has a responsibility to not confuse speculation with truth, because once misinformation spreads, it's almost impossible to take it back. So what should Christians do? Pray, wait, seek truth, refuse to spread rumors, refuse to hate people you've never met. Refuse to let social media become your source of truth. James 1:19 says, let every person be quick to hear, slow to speak, slow to anger. Imagine if Christians actually lived that verse online. The internet would look completely different. Look, I don't know every answer. Neither do you, and neither does social media. But I know this: truth matters. Justice matters. People matter. So before you repost, before you accuse, before we assume, let's remember what God says. Judge with right judgment. Seek truth. Love your neighbor. Pray for grieving families. And trust that justice is best served through truth, not through viral outrage. If this challenged you, subscribe. Leave a comment. Let's have a respectful conversation. And remember, Christ first, truth always.